Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for February 17th, 2016. I am Frank Ochoa with your analysis for the session. Taking a look here at the ES in a daily time frame. The key level we talked about last afternoon in the PivotBoss closing report was the previous week's high here, about 1884.5. That was a very important zone. I mentioned if bulls can keep that area bid, the expectation would be for a continuation into 1921 and 1939 half. And so far we've seen that level be bid in overnight trading right here. Bulls defended that zone upon a retest, and now we're seeing a price push and test the Fed January 27th level at 1903.75. So this is what we mentioned before. You know, price going offered here at 1921 implied a move into 1811s. If the bulls could defend 1811 to 1804, that would imply a return to 1921 to 1939 half. Once price gets into this zone, again, it could get a little top heavy, and we could see another rotation back down. So this is kind of the pattern of the market right now, is this trading range, and so far we're headed into 1921, the next HV and above. Failure to hold above the previous week's high would suggest a rotation back into the 1849 LVN, where bulls would want to defend that pullback for another shot at new highs. Let's take a look at the intraday time frame here. The intraday time frame with the overnight action, very, very solid. As a matter of fact, the way the price is opened up in overnight trading and also in pre-market trading implies that there could be some decent volatility heading into the open. We have a nice key range to trade from. The key range right now, 1897 half down to 1881 half, with a midpoint at 1889 half. That's our key level to watch right now for the upcoming session here. Any retest of 1897 half or even as deep as 1893s, that pullback could offer an opportunity to buy for a push through 1905 half and into the 100% expansion target at 1913 half. We also have a primary upside target for the day at 1913, so that targets a very key area there that we should see another 10-point move into that zone, with a shot at seeing 1921, 1923 half by the end of the session. All right, let's take a look now at the crude oil chart. Looking at the crude oil chart, we've been trending downward for the most part. We had a two-day burst higher when prices pushed down into 26.05s, shot back above the bottom of the key range here, back above that 27.56, and rallied nicely, coming just shy of our first target at 31.80. We mentioned that any rejection of prices below the key range would suggest a return to 31.80 and perhaps even into 33.43. Price came just shy of reaching that 31.80 and was rejected significantly off that previous week's high at 31.38. That led to a big snapback downward. Now we have two-day support here to watch. We also have any pullbacks into 30 half or 30.14 offer an opportunity for bears to defend for a shot at seeing a continuation and a retest of that 27.56. So this is going to be important to see if crude oil can hold above 30.14 and continue higher, or if any pullback into that rejection tail will be seen as a selling opportunity by bears looking for a retest of recent lows. If we drop into the intraday time frame, we have a key range to work from for the day. The key range spans from the overnight high here, the initial high of 29.47, and then the drop into 28.73 with a midpoint at 29.10. Those are going to be your key levels for the session. You can see price already pushed through the top of that range. Pullbacks have been defended so far. If price can stay above that 29.47, we could see a continuation again into 30.21, which is the 100% expansion target for the day. Right now, the primary upside target would be 30.44 if this can continue to hold above 29.51. Any failure to hold 29.51 here, or especially that 29.47, that'll open up a retest back toward 28.73 with a shot at lower levels. Okay, taking a look at gold. Obviously, we had a big time reversal in gold. We were looking for the fade. We talked about this being a potential blow off top here, 300% of ADR range. Typically speaking, that marks a high, and that's what we saw here. The previous session, or the session following that, was a low range session, and that usually is our extreme reversal pattern, which implies a move back toward the point of origin of the recent rally. and that's exactly where we dropped into on that reversal. So very solid there. Bulls are trying to keep 1192's bid for a return back to 1250 and 1260. Failure to hold 1192 opens up a move back into 1126. If we take a look at the intraday time frame for gold, kind of coiling up right now after a lot of volatility. That bodes well for expansion down the road. But right now, look for further development within this range. Eventually, once we see expansion from this range, it's going to spark the next key move in gold. Now, taking a look here at the NQ. In a daily time frame, you can see the significant rejection we've seen after prices failed to hold below the 38.93 half key level. That is the bottom of the August range. So that was the August lows. Price attempted to hold below that zone and rejected, and we've since seen a bounce back up. What we were looking for at that time was any failure to hold below 38.93 would spark a quick rejection back to 42.26, and that's so far what's happening right now. Pullbacks have been defended, and this is what I mentioned before. We've seen higher lows day over day, and we're also seeing higher highs day over day. Pullbacks need to be defended, and so far the pullback right into that CLVN at 40.72 has been defended so far today, and we've seen new highs. Expect a continuation back toward 41.91 half with a shot to see that 42.26 overall. Any failure to hold above 4,000 here would mark a likely retest of lows with a shot at lower price levels. But a retest into that zone could offer a buying opportunity. So looking at the NQ and an intraday here, we also have a key range to watch out for. The key range spans from 41.09 quarter down to 40.6875. The midpoint here at 40.89. You can see how this range has played out so far, and this thing has been bullish. So prices have continued higher out of this range, and this is what we're going to see right here. Let's get out of this window. Basically, what we've seen so far is a push, not only through the midpoint of the range here, 89s, but then through the top of the range at 41.09 quarter and precisely into the 50% expansion target. Price came back into the 20%, 25%, and is now marching toward 41.4975. That's going to be the 100% expansion target. Expect bulls to continue to defend any rotations into 41.09 here. Bulls want to keep that bid for a shot at continuing higher with targets at 41.55 and 41.84. We also have a key level at 41.74 to shoot for. Failure to hold above 41.09 quarter opens up a retest of 40.6875 with a shot at lower levels. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.